Some love stories aren't about being together, they're about becoming something larger through love, even through pain. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of one such love, a story that has touched millions of hearts across India. A story written by Dharamveer Bharti, titled Gunahon Ka Devta, or The God of Sins. This is not just a novel, it's an emotional journey about love, sacrifice, morality, and the eternal conflict between the heart and the mind. The story takes us back to Allahabad, a peaceful university town filled with scholars, students, and dreams. There lives Chandar, a young research scholar in psychology. He's intelligent, idealistic, and deeply sensitive, a man who thinks before he feels. Chandar spends most of his time with his mentor, Dr. Shukla, a respected professor known for his wisdom and discipline. Dr. Shukla treats Chandar like his own son. His home becomes Chandar's second home, a place of warmth, intellect, and belonging. And there, amidst the books and conversations, Chandar meets Sudha, Dr. Shukla's only daughter. Sudha is everything Chandar isn't: playful, spontaneous, full of laughter, and yet deeply emotional. Between them forms a bond that is pure, effortless, and almost divine. They talk for hours, share little secrets, tease each other, and slowly they fall in love without ever saying it aloud. There are no confessions, no promises, no physical closeness, just the quiet understanding of two souls that recognize each other. For Sudha, Chandar is her world, her best friend, her guide, her safe place. And for Chandar, Sudha is a symbol of purity, something sacred, untouched, and far above worldly desires. Their love lives in the unsaid moments, in silences, in glances, and in the way they simply exist around each other. But Chandar, being idealistic and restrained, keeps reminding himself he's not her equal. He's just a poor student. She's the professor's daughter. And above all, he owes everything to Dr. Shukla. So even as his heart beats for her, he builds walls of morality around it. He convinces himself that this love is too pure to ever be spoken aloud. But love, when left unspoken for too long, begins to ache. One day, everything changes. Dr. Shukla tells Chandar that he has found a suitable match for Sudha. In that moment, Chandar's world shatters. Quietly, invisibly. He wants to scream to tell Dr. Shukla that Sudha belongs with him. He wants to tell Sudha that he loves her. But his ideals and his gratitude toward Dr. Shukla hold him back. Sudha senses something is wrong. She looks into Chandar's eyes and asks softly, "Should I agree to marry him?" It's a question that tears Chandar apart. For a second, time stops. He could change everything by saying just one word: no. But instead, he hides his heartbreak behind reason and replies, "Yes, Sudha, you should do what your father says." That single sentence seals their fate. Sudha, believing in his words, agrees to marry another man. And on her wedding day, as she leaves, Chanda stands there realizing that he hasn't done the right thing, only the moral thing. He chose duty over love. But what is morality without truth? What is purity without emotion? After Sudha's marriage, Chanda's life becomes a shadow of what it once was. He continues his research, attends lectures, meets friends, but inside he's hollow. Sudha's laughter no longer echoes in his life. Her absence becomes his constant companion. He tells himself that he did the honorable thing, but every night, loneliness eats away at him. This phase of the novel captures something painfully real: the tragedy of emotional repression. When love is sacrificed not because it's wrong, but because the world says it shouldn't exist. In his loneliness, Chandar tries to find meaning again. That's when Lalita enters his life, a young married woman from his social circle. She is neglected by her husband and yearns for affection. She finds comfort in Chandar's company, and slowly their friendship turns into intimacy. For the first time, Chandar experiences physical closeness, something he had always suppressed. But instead of peace, he feels guilt. He realizes that without emotional connection, physical intimacy feels empty, even sinful. Lalita becomes a mirror to his confusion. Through her, he sees how love, when disconnected from the soul, turns hollow and painful. Then comes Pamela, a modern, foreign-educated woman. She's bold, intelligent, and completely different from Sudha. Pamela admires Chandar for his intellect and self-discipline, but she also challenges him. To her, love isn't something to hide or fear. It's freedom, expression, and joy. Through Pamela, Chandar begins to question everything he believed. Was his sacrifice really noble? Or was it just fear? Fear of love, fear of society, fear of being human. Pamela becomes a voice of modern thought, a reminder that ideals without emotion are just cages made of virtue. Yet Chandar can never give his heart to her, because deep inside, he's still chained to Sudha, to the memory of what could have been. As time passes, Chandar's understanding of life deepens. He looks back and sees how his so-called morality has ruined not only his own happiness, but also Sudha's. He realizes that by trying to be perfect, by trying to live above human emotions, he has committed the greatest sin of all, the denial of love. He becomes the Gunahon Ka Devta, the god of sins, a man who commits no crime, yet suffers the punishment of his own ideals. He finally understands that true purity doesn't lie in rejection, but in acceptance, in embracing emotions, not denying them. But by the time this realization comes, it's too late. Sudha is gone. Life has moved on. Years later, Sudha returns. She's married, mature, graceful, but the love in her heart hasn't faded. Their reunion is calm, soft, and heart-wrenching. No anger, no questions, just quiet understanding between two souls that once belonged to each other. Sudha tells Chandar that she has learned to live with her sorrow, that her love for him has transformed into something spiritual, beyond happiness, beyond pain. She says, I don't regret anything anymore. Love has become my peace. And in that moment, Chandar realizes Sudha has become everything he tried to be. He wanted to become divine by rejecting love. She became divine by accepting it. The novel ends not with union but with realization. There's no happy ending, only truth. Through Chandar's journey, Dharamveer Bharti teaches us something timeless. That trying to live above emotions doesn't make us pure. It makes us incomplete. That love, in all its imperfections, is not a weakness, but the very essence of being human. And denying love in the name of duty, pride or fear is perhaps the greatest sin of all. Gunahon Ka Devta isn't just a story about Chandar and Sudha. It's the story of every person who has ever loved deeply but couldn't say it out loud. It's the story of those who chose silence over expression and then lived with that silence forever. It's a story that reminds us that sometimes love that remains incomplete becomes eternal. Because not every love story is meant to end in togetherness. Some are meant to live in memory, in longing, and in the quiet spaces of the heart. If you felt connected to this story, share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever experienced a love you couldn't express? A love that stayed unspoken? yet never left you. Thank you for listening. This is Bookishes, and I'll see you in the next one.